time to stand and stare? Is a question asked by W.H. Davis in his poem Leisure. I pretty much keep on going back to this just to get an introspection on life, to reminisce the journey I've had throughout, just to keep myself in check. Good afternoon, folks. My name is Yash, Shah, and I'm here today to take you through the journey that's been. Let me start with the story. Let me start with my day one. No, my day one is not the day I was born, because I don't remember that. My day one is a beautiful Friday morning, a winter morning, when I woke up. I woke up to a lot of commotion in my house. I woke up to a lot of commotion because I did not know what was happening. The only question was, where is Yash? Kya hai? I was very embarrassed as a 4-year-old to let everyone know where I was because I was taking a dump. While I was taking a dump, I realized that everything around me was moving. While everything around me was moving, I called out for help. I did not want to be embarrassed, but they just barged in, picked me up and ran with me, only to embarrass me even more in front of 1,000 people around this time. But this is not why I remember this day. I remember this day because that was the first time I saw my mom cry. She was wearing a blue dress. She was on her swing. And she was sobbing. I asked her what went wrong. She said she saw the building next door tremble down in front of her eyes. A lot of people who she grew up with passed away in that massacre. A young boy is never going to forget when his mom cries for the first time. 15 days later, 5 days to being 5 years old, she's wearing the exact same blue dress. We were supposed to take a trip. 3 hours later, she passed away. It was difficult, emotionally, mentally, and a little financially. But I'll tell you what's more difficult. Try being raised by a single father who's a chartered accountant. You know why? He has only one expectation in life. My son is going to be a chartered accountant. So, 4th standard, my math exam. Parent-teacher meeting. Yash Manish Shah, roll number 47. 90 on 50. I'm like, oops.
Oh my god.
This is difficult. So what did I do? I slept at 6:30 p.m. so that I don't have to face my father at 7. 2 years later, I did worse. I scored an 18. I passed, however. But 4 years later, on that particular day, after scoring an 18, my father came to me and told me, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You can try. But I want you to know that I don't want people to think that just because you don't have a mother, you can't excel in math. I'm like, what is this logic? I don't understand this at 26 either. But there we were. So fast forward 4 years. Next day is my math board exam and I call my father. I'm like, Dad, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. I've ran through the textbook 8 times. I probably like math now. And he's like, alright, do this. Let's go for a movie. I'm not joking, he took me out for a movie. The movie was Kamina. It was pretty bad. 3 months later, the results are supposed to come out. I scored a 98 on 100.
Oh my god.
I blame him for the 2 marks I lost. Right? The difficult part starts now. 3 months before my 12th standard is supposed to end, he comes up with chartered accountancy books. Son, you have to be ready, he says. You're going to be a chartered accountant. A month later, it was very difficult for me to let him know that I'm not becoming a chartered accountant. So my life was laid back to me. Okay, you're going to the US then, you're going to study accounting, you're going to be a financier, there we go. I'm like, alright, this is easy, that's what I'm going to do. At the airport, he comes to me and he says, I want you to know something. I'm like, what is that? Don't worry, I'm not going to eat non-veg. Don't worry, I'm going to be just fine, I'm going to take care. He's like, no, these days are not going to come back. So while you're at it, please do enjoy. I'm like, wow, this is easy. This is absolutely easy. So here I am in the US as a 17-year-old. Day 1 of my college, like you folks out here. And the dean walks in. He's like, you! Yes, you! Indian guy! You're going to work for Goldman Sachs. Like, alright, this is good. You're going to work for NASDAQ. You're going to work for this. You're going to work for that. I'm like, alright, so my life has been laid up for me. I'm going to be working at Goldman Sachs. Life has never been better. Until a year later, my dad gives me a call again. He's like, listen son, I'm no longer a chartered accountant. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. Now I'm doing real estate. So you're supposed to study hotel management and at the same time try to be an engineer. I had 3 years of my college life remaining. I completed that degree in a year and a half just to make sure that my dad doesn't change his profession anymore. Right? A month before my graduation toast, the dean walked in again. And this time he's ready with another speech. In the first straw, I was on the dean's list, killing it. And he says there are 2 types of people in this world. I know, rich and poor. He's like, no, the employers and the employees. We've got you ready. We've got you ready for the world. You're going to do this, you're going to do that, and you're going to do that. I'm like, sure. So I was very happy. At that point of time, it hit me. It hit me that I had absolutely no idea about my life. I was just told by my father what I had to do, which I disagreed. Then I was told about my life by my professor and a fellow peer. It hit me that I did not want any of this. Exactly 4 hours later, I get an email from Goldman Sachs that you've been accepted in the headquarters. So what does a 20-year-old do at that point of time? The obvious. I rejected it. While I rejected the job, I did not know what to do either. But now I had an agenda of my life. I wanted to be an employer. That's all that there is. This is all that I want. So I called up my dad again. So I've decided I'm coming back because now I want to be an employer. He's like, what a fool. You don't have to be this. For you to be an employer, you should first know what being an employee looks like. So I went to Singapore. I got an internship in a fintech company. Again, I was 20 years old, living the dream. I've lived in 2 countries. This is the 3rd. Walk into my beautiful office. What an office. The founder had a glass of hibiki with me. And I was like, this is life. This is life. It was November 7th, 2016, a day before the presidential elections in the US. Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. I got my first assignment. I was supposed to write an article which was going to make about 100,000 people invest. This was my first task as an intern. My first task in my professional career. So again, I did what a 20-year-old with absolute passion, enthusiasm, great honesty would do. I went on Google. The first task I ever had in my life, I cheated on it. I did that. I'm pretty ashamed. 15 days later, the founder called me in. I thought, alright, time to have another hibiki. And then he told me that I plagiarized. And that article is supposed to be taken down. Now it was my ego that came. And I was like, this is not acceptable. He also said that they were very close to firing me, but now I'm not supposed to do this anymore. They'll just give me another task instead. My internship was coming to an end in the next 15 days, so I started applying for jobs. I applied to 21 jobs, and I got rejected by all 5 of them, all 21 of them in 5 days. All of them. The karmic cycle had happened. From Goldman Sachs, I did not have an answer. But it made me realize something. It made me a man that day. That feeling, that realization that I've cheated. This entire journey that I had, which I had to enjoy, I've done it wrong. I've done all the people wrong, who was standing with me throughout, from the day 0 to day here. I was wrong. So what did I do? I took all my credit cards that my dad gave me and cut them down. I went from living in a great apartment to living in a basement which was as big as this sofa. It had a bathroom in it too. I did not eat for 4 days in a month because I did not have the money to. Faced rejections. Applied for another job in Singapore which I got. Looked at the co-working world until the government of Singapore called me this time. Sir, your visa's over, please head back. I'm like, no, I don't want to. Is there a way? They're like, sir, this is Singapore, not India. Please head back. So here I was back, and now it's time to be an employer. I'm about to join family business, I'm 21 years old, and I walk into the office 10 a.m. in the morning, probably like this, and I'm like, alright, all I have to do is employ people now. I start learning. I start learning from my father, who's my role model. I look at him day in and day out, only to realize that I don't like it at all. 6 months down the line, I realized that I hate it. So what do I do now? What do I do now was a big question that arose. And I look back at the journey again. I look back at the journey from Singapore and I started the address. 3 months down the line, we started with a 14,000 square feet office space which could hold on to 180 people on 22nd January 2018. 3 months down the line, we were doing just fine. Another 3 months down the line, I failed again. I had a debt of 45 lakh rupees in the account because a startup who was with us went bankrupt. My mistake, I let them continue for 6 months without paying me a single penny. Here I was. I did not know what to do. So I called up my dad again. Dad, I failed. He's like, no son, you did not. I'm like, why? Who expected you to make 50 lakh rupees in the first 6 months of your business? I did not know if I should be happy or I should be sad. But here I was. So he said, give it 1,000 days. It takes 1,000 days in any business to prosper, to prove the real metal that is in you. He was right. I took a day to myself. In another 3 months, 14,000 square feet. After the first year of address's inception was 80. After the second year, we were at 1,20,000 square feet before the inevitable happened. The COVID hit us. And the COVID hit us at a time when we were the fastest growing co-working space probably nationally. What we realized, no one's coming back to offices again, not anytime soon. Wanted to quit this business, very honestly. Did not know what to do. Realized that people are not going to come back no matter what. So I went back to the journey again. Thought again. At this point of time, somebody came and told me, you run a good company. How's the Josh was the statement going on at that point of time. I'm like, very high. So I'm like, what do I do? Foolishness. I signed up more leases during COVID. I signed up 2 new locations when there was no one coming back to the office space. I don't know what it was. That happened. Things opened up. 2 years, September 2020 to today, August 2022, the address has 1 million square feet. We are home to almost 12,000 people every single day. The 45 lakh rupees that I lost in the first 6 months of the company's inception today is, the company almost does 60 crore in revenue year on year. As I said, is home to 12,000 people daily. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You know what matters? What matters was the journey that I wanted ever since I was a boy. The journey to be an employer. Today, the address has 700 people which are directly or indirectly employed. 700. Right? 65% is women workforce out of that. That's what we've achieved. At the same time, I built 3 companies. As a first generation, as a second generation, and somebody to make sure that startups get what it is to go from point A to point Z. Ever when I look back, I want to take this time and go back to the entire cycle. I've been embarrassed. I've cheated. I've done everything wrong only to realize one thing in life. I don't know what success is like. I really don't. I'm not here to let you know about what it is to be somebody, to be successful, to be the nicest person there is, because I'm not that. But I do know something, and that something is life-changing. I know for a fact what it is that you don't have to do to get from a point A to point B. Time and time again, this journey has only taught me what should I have not done to get from point A to point B, and I realize that, and I do 2 things, 3 things, 5 things, 10 things, and I will keep on doing them every now and then. There are dreamers, there are doers. This journey is a mix of both my professional and my personal life. But all I know, to say the least, is that the journey is the ultimate reward, nothing else. So I leave you with a question. What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. Thank you.